Hi, I'm Lynn Bridgeford from the Aetherbios Clinic and Aetherbios Yoga, and today in our series on quick and easy burn exercises we're going to be looking at burning the thighs. So get comfortable and join me in a minute. Walking with legs lifted is a very good exercise for the quadriceps. You can bring the arms into it for a little bit of opposition, and if you're going for an extended walk or a power walk, this is good for your thighs. And also going backwards, so bringing the leg up behind, this is good for the hamstring. And keep going, one leg up and then the other. You can bring the hands on the hips, or you can do the opposite arms. Keep that hamstring coming up towards the bottom, and we can do opposites: quads, hamstring, quads, hamstring, quads, hamstring, quads, hamstring, and the other side: quads, hamstring, quads, hamstring, quads, hamstring, quads, hamstring, and have a little shake out. So we could do that with a little jump, bringing the leg up, jumping, and the other side, just a little lilt, or you can just do it down and up, keeping the core, keeping that working. Other side, you can bring the arms into it, or you can leave them on your hips. Keep repeating that. This is working the quadriceps, and we're doing it on a little angle, so it's working the inside of the quadriceps too, and the other side. There's many parts to the quadriceps, 4, which is why it's called the quads. And if you want to do it out to the side a little, then we've got a slightly different movement on the outside of the quads. A little bit like a duck movement, keeping the core lifting up to the side. We can do one and then the other, or you can have your hands on your hips. Keep the core one side and the other side. One side and the other side. You can alternate and shake it all about. Bringing the leg up behind you, we can do the hamstrings on an angle because there's different sides to the hamstrings. We can do it with a bounce as well. You can keep the arms out or on your hips, lifting up the heel towards the bottom. It's like you're kicking the opposite bottom. So you're using different aspects of the hamstrings, other side. And you can do it with a jump if you want, or hands on the hips, one side and then the other, working those hamstrings. You can do it straight, so the heel's coming right up towards the bottom, getting the straight angle of the hamstrings. And then you do it a little bit pigeon-toed. It's a little bit awkward, but you're getting that inner side of the hamstring, the medial side. So as long as you're keeping your knee safe and you don't have a knee issue, you should feel that burn on the inside of the hamstring. And we can do one side and then the other, or we can do repeatedly one side, and we can do it with a little bounce or with a little jump. Just find what works for you and shake it all about, let it all go. We can bend the legs and bring the heels up to the bottom for a slightly easier angle on the hamstrings, because we've got a little bit more stretch on the muscle. We can do one leg, we can do it with a bounce, and the other leg, give a little lilt to make it easier, or we can do one and then the other, keeping the core, keeping the spine nice and straight. Taking a wide lunge, a wide side lunge, butt out, and then we just bounce up and down a little. We're using the quads. Push the floor away, resist as you come down, so you feel as though you're pushing and pushing the opposite way as you come down. Quadriceps, hamstrings, you can feel them as they work. Quadriceps, hamstrings. And we can do that one side, and at the same time we keep the straight leg nice and straight, giving a little stretch, a little gentle bounce, Ease side to side, and then we're going the other side. Little gentle bounce, keeping the core. Working the bent leg, stretching the straight leg. To work the straight leg as well, we can lift it up straight to the side, and we're working, as well as the butt, we're working those lateral muscles in the thigh and the other side. Feeling the burn, keeping the spine and the core nice and strong. And a little side to side in between. We can do a variation on that by lifting up a little to the front, and we're working that tensor fasciae lata, that muscle with a long piece of fascia down the side, also referred to as the iliotibial band. So we just brought the leg a little bit forwards and side to ease it out. Have a good wiggle. Let any tension flow away. With a wide lunge, this time we're bringing the effort onto the straight leg. So we're using the bent leg, but we're pushing down with the foot to work all the way up the inside of this leg. It's a focus thing and a good placement. Keep the kneecap and the thigh lifting, and feel a working and a little burn. You can put your hand there to feel the muscle working. You want to actively work this side rather than having everything on the opposite side. It's a different focus. Change sides, side to ease it out, and then feel like you're pushing your leg, your straight leg in and the foot down to the floor. Lifting the kneecap and thigh so there's no strain on the knee. Nice alignment in the knee. Feel that burn on the inner thigh. And side to side. And have a good waggle to ease it all out. Coming down on the knees, we're going to lift one knee up and lift it up towards your chest. So we're using that quadricep, keeping the back strong and long. It's that quadricep working, just like we did standing. And the other side, bringing the knee up towards the chest, just releasing it back a little in between, keeping the spine nice and long and the core strong. Then we're going to do the hamstring, so we're going to kick the heel towards the bottom. So we lift the knee up, kick the heel towards the bottom. Then we can do that turning out, and we can do it turning in. So we're missing the bottom, but we're getting those different angles of the hamstrings. The other side, lift the leg up and bring the heel towards the bottom. It's like you're kicking your bottom, knee straight down to the floor. We're using the hamstring as a whole. Then if you turn the knee out and kick your bottom, using more the inside of the hamstrings. You don't need to turn too much. I'm exaggerating a little to show you. And then turn it in a little and kick towards the bottom. And you'll feel the burn in the lateral, the outer side of the hamstring. Back on all fours, lifting the leg up to the side. So we're using the outer side of the thigh. We can bring it forwards a little and out to the side so we get a different angle, and back a little and out to the side. Different angle on the thigh. Keeping the spine nice and strong, back to straight up to the side. And on the other side, lifting the leg straight up to the side. Lifting, feeling the work in the outside of the thigh. Then bringing it a little bit forwards. Make sure you stay in your comfort zone. It's alright to feel a little bit of a burn in the muscles. A burn is not pain, it's a muscle working. And back to the side. And come down And recover in pose of a child, lengthening through the spine. Have a little wiggle, settle the tailbone down. Leaning back on your forearms, we're going to lift up into semi-bridge and we're going to pump down, so we're using the hamstrings and we're using the quads. Keep it going, keep it comfortable. You may like to take your hands back a little bit. Find what works for you. Come down and hug the knees towards your chest. Lengthen the spine. We're going into a full bridge. So feet apart, hands beside you. Press the heels into the mat and lift up. So we're going to hold there for a little bit. And then we're doing a little pump. So we're pushing the heels into the mat, as though we're going to straighten the legs, but of course we're not. Keeping the core strong and working in the legs. If it's too much, just come down, or maybe don't go up so far. Come down, we're going to turn the feet out a little, so do the same thing, as long as your knees are safe. And we have the toes turned out as well, so the knees are over the toes. And we're pushing down and resisting as we come down, pushing the feet down, lift the butt, lift the navel, working in those legs. Come down, we can turn the toes in, feet a little wider, heels out, and just with a slight in turn, keeping the knees in a good alignment over the toes, and do a little pumping action with your legs. Come down, have one knee up towards you and the other, rock side to side, lengthening in the spine. Hug the knees towards the chest. You might like to lift the head up and relax down. So coming into a little cool down, we're going to bring the leg up, straighten it, so we're going to stretch the hamstrings, keep the knees straight. The lower down, the higher up you hold, and the more you can bend, the higher up you hold. What we want is a good stretch through the hamstrings. Breathe into it and release. And the other side, and draw the leg down, keep the knee and the toe in line. A stretch is a relax, so to stretch the muscle you need to relax, and we engage the opposite muscle. To stretch the hamstrings standing, feet apart, bring the leg forward, toes up, straight leg, and go forwards with a straight spine, sticking the butt out, belly comes down, then chest, neck's in neutral, and you can take your hand down the leg. If you can go all the way, that's fine. What we want is the stretch from the back of the knee up to the butt. And breathe into it, come up the other side, bring the foot forwards, keep this knee above the toe, slide forwards only as far as is comfortable. You might want to put the foot down, release the pressure, and then take it back. Have a little wiggle, find your way into the stretch, and come back up. Stretching the quadricep, bring the foot up, hold it with the hand, bring the knee down towards the floor, and bring the heel towards the bottom. And the other side, bring the foot up, bring the knee towards the other knee, lengthen in the core, bring the heel to the bottom, and allow that quadricep to stretch. Breathe into it. A wide lunge to stretch the inner thigh. You can stick the bottom out behind you, keep the foot straight, the leg straight. And the other side, breathe into it. And if you want to turn the heel out a little bit, you'll be stretching the outer side. Stay there for a few breaths. Come up, straighten the feet, turn the heel out on the other side. Stretch up through the iliotibial band. Come up, straighten the feet. Turn one out a little and stretch. Come up, straighten the feet, turn the other one out and stretch. And come back up. To stretch the outside of the thigh, tuck the leg behind you. And you can bend forwards, bending the front leg and getting a nice stretch through the outside. Find the level that works for you. And the other side. So you may not bend so far, or you may be a little wider or less wide with your feet. Thank you so much. That's just a few quick and easy exercises to feel the burn in the thighs. So work sensibly, work safely, keep your joints safe, work within your limits and enjoy that sense of getting strong and a gentle burn in the muscles. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, like, write in the comments below, and go across to my other channels. I have Instagram, Lynn Bridgeford. I have Facebook channels for the clinic, for the yoga, and interact with me on all the channels, and I would be happy to connect with you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Thank you so much.